Hello everyone, this is Alex from Swoosh English, and today I'm covering quite a common question that we get asked here, my academic team and myself here at Swoosh English. And that question is, how many paragraphs should I include in my referral letter, my discharge letter, etc.? What is the perfect number of paragraphs? And I'm here to tell you that there is no kind of ideal or perfect number of paragraphs that you should be writing. And I know that will disappoint some people because a lot of doctors and nurses we're seeing with writing their letters, they're putting them in our Facebook group, they're getting corrections from our teachers. They want a memorized template that they should follow again and again and again. And unfortunately, that's just not the case because it really depends on the kind of task that you're given. It really depends on the case notes that you're provided with and the information that is gathered within there, because you really need to be selecting the key information, the most important information to include in your letter. You might be writing to a cardiologist, for example, and they need a certain set of information. So really the first step is, once you have gone through your case notes, you really need to choose the most important items, or if you want to call it most important topics, that you really need to cover in your letter. Then once you've decided on those topics, then you need to decide the organization of the most important information and the lesser information. And then I suppose even further than that is information that you can discard completely, because you should not be including all of the information that you see in the case notes. And I'll see a lot of students doing that, just including everything. They're scared that they are going to include, they're going to forget to include certain information. So they just think, okay, I'm just going to include all of it, and that's not going to get you your grade B. So once you've decided on the topics that you think are most important, then you should organize them in terms of most important in your beginning paragraphs and lesser importance in your closing paragraphs. But you really should make sure that that information that you do include is important and it is relevant to the person that you're writing. So if it's a referral letter and you're referring them to a specialist, cardiologist, for example, is this important information that they need to know in order for them to do their job correctly? So, of course, there is a standard approach out there. You know, the standard approach is that after your opening sentiments, you know, putting the date and who you're writing to, etc. In terms of the standard approach, 3 paragraphs would be the standard approach, but it can change depending, like I said before, depending on the kind of task and the kind of case notes that you're provided with. You might actually write more than 3 paragraphs. So really have that flexibility in mind when you're writing your letter. Don't be having this kind of memorized mindset. It must be 3 paragraphs, must be three paragraphs. No, it could be more than that depending on the scenario that you are provided with. So I'll give you a very, very quick example. This might be OET for medicine, and you could be, so for doctors who are writing this paper, they might be writing to a cardiologist, and in their opening paragraphs, the first paragraph rather, they might be referring to the cardiologist to say this patient has unstable angina and they're at risk of myocardial infarction. And then, so that's the most important information in the first paragraph. Then in the paragraphs that kind of go after that, you might talk about the medication that the person has been on and what, you know, going into a bit more detail about the maybe dosages, etc. So you can see how you need to start with the most important information first and then move on to lesser information, but information that's still relevant and still important for the cardiologist to understand. So if you liked this video today, make sure, or you want to tell other doctors and nurses about the videos that we're helping them with, make sure you share this and follow and pass this on to them. If you have any questions about today's video, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And lastly, if you want to watch more of our OET materials, free video lessons, etc. Our free materials that we've got available for you, make sure you go to swooshenglish.com. Hopefully this was helpful to you today, and I will see you in the next video.